I could not change the behavior of my wife from the last 32 years. I've understood one thing as a student of psychology, that my wife is not happy with my happiness. Sister खाती है, वो बोल रही है sister खाती है, मेरा sister को दे दो, ये बोल रहा है वो, हाँ, दीजिए, मेरा चलो, नहीं, yes please, give her a big hand. Wow. If you are a psychologist, I'm going to take it back. Are you a psychologist? That means the extra Y which is coming from father. So criminality always comes from father, not from mother. आदमी भी खुश हो रहे हैं कि पकड़े गए. बैठिए ना, बैठिए, सुंदर साड़ी है. आधी दे दो. Baby boy or a baby girl, and you give them a call and you say, hey, congratulations, you're blessed with a baby girl. ये सब भगवान ने दिया है. मैंने क्या किया भाई, तुमने नहीं किया तो हुआ कैसे? Right now I'm looking at you, you are giving me a smile and nodding your head, and I am thinking that you are enjoying. But at the back of your mind, ये कब खत्म होगा? कहाँ फंस गई? And again I'm looking at you, you are doing it like this.
I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Sanjeev Sahni. Dr. Sanjeev Sahni is a professor of eminence, advisor to the Vice Chancellor of OP Jindal Global University. As a founding member of the management team, he was instrumental in establishing the university in the year 2009, along with the Vice Chancellor. Dr. Sahni fosters collaboration across the university and manages changes in policies and practices that affect the academic and administrative life of the university as a whole. Dr. Sahni is the founder and principal director of Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences. He also serves as a professor in the university and as the director of Center for Victimology and Psychological Studies, Center for Leadership and Change, Center for Community Mental Health, and Center for Criminology and Forensic Studies. Dr. Sahni has also been appointed as the Vice President of World Society of Victimology. Dr. Sahni is a distinguished scholar in the field of psychology, and his research interests spans in the areas of criminal psychology, cognitive and neuropsychology, competency mapping, organizational development, and leadership. He holds a PhD degree in psychology. He possesses an extensive and rich experience of more than 35 years in the academia, industry, and government sector. His industrial expertise and extensive research allow for a more pragmatic approach in teaching, thus narrowing the industry-academia gap. As a professor at JGU, Dr. Sahni has been teaching courses such as criminal psychology, consumer psychology, competency mapping, organizational behavior, organizational development and management of change, business communication and etiquette, and leadership, compensation and benefit, and management consulting fundamentals to students across all schools of the university. He has taught in various universities overseas as a visiting faculty, namely China University of Political Science and Law, Beijing, Nanjing University, Nanjing in China, amongst others. Dr. Sahni is also a certified Edward D. Bono Six Thinking Hats trainer. He has conducted more than 2,500 sessions and trained over 250,000 school principals and teachers, senior government officials, industry professionals in over 50 countries on topics such as competency mapping, business communication, decision making at workplace, stress management, performance enhancement, emotional intelligence, best teaching practices, inspiring leadership, etc. He has published about 40 research articles in international and national index journals and nearly 25 book chapters, with 19 books to his credit, some of the most recent ones being Spirituality and Management from Models to Applications, Criminal Psychology and Criminal Justice System in India and Beyond, Internet Infidelity, an Interdisciplinary Insight in a Global Context, Piracy in the Digital Era, Psychosocial, Criminological and Cultural Factors, the Death Penalty, Perspectives from India and Beyond, Maximizing Human Potential through Behavioral Competencies, 100 Core Competencies, Strategic Compensation Management and Design, and Conflict, the Police and the People. Dr. Sahni has certainly facilitated in changing the mindset of educators and in the same way the mindset of students. Dr. Sahni has several hours to his credit and has recently been elected as Executive Committee member of the World Society of Victimology. He is also a UN licensed member of World Society of Victimology. Dr. Sahni is also the member of the Board of Directors of the International Society of Criminology. Dr. Sahni was conferred the Director Generalship India of the International Forum on Crimes and Criminal Law in the Global Era in Beijing, China in 2015. Among his several academic endeavors, he has been regularly representing India at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and Academic Council for United Nations System. He has also been awarded the Medal of Honor by the Serbian Academy of Sciences and Art and the most prominent academic institution in Serbia. In the year 2022, Dr. Sahni was conferred with a special recognition award by the International Criminal Law Association for his pioneering work at the intersection of law and psychology. Dr. Sahni is the recipient of some very prestigious fellowships, such as the one by Indian Association of Sports Medicine, Sports Psychology Association of India, and Indian Council of Medical Research. She has also served as secretary to the Indian Association of Sports Medicine and the Sports Psychology Association of India. I'd like to invite Dr. Sahni to address all of us. Thank you so much.
Now, when we say it's a training program, and you have all come probably thinking that you will be trained today. Let me tell you, in this world, nobody can train anyone. I want to start with like this. Yes, skills can be trained, knowledge can be enhanced, but behavioral training, nobody can transform the behavior of anyone. If you think that I'm good at it, I could not change the behavior of my wife from the last 32 years. Second, we the teachers, all the time, thinking and talking about how our students can get more marks. Not only you, parents, society, system, school principal and management, school teachers. Everybody want that how the marks can be increased, how I can get 99% marks. Nobody is talking about behavior, which is the most important thing in a human life. Behavior can make you a successful person, can make you a failure. It is only behavior, not the marks. So when I talk about behavior and the marks, everybody talks about marks. And that is the focus. But when I talk about a behavior, what I have learned over the period, that not only your success, to understand and to build relationship, behavior is the most important thing. Are you married? With a great difficulty you are accepting it. I don't think you are the right person to ask this question. I have to change the person. I'm looking for a person who said, yes, of course. Madam, are you married? Little better. Can I ask you a very simple question? That you're married since how long?
So now it's 25 years.
Oh, wow, wow. She's married for the last 25 years. How much you know your husband in percentage and how much he knows you in percentage? It's not a personal question, some vague idea.
70% we know of each other.
Both together or there is any change?
No, not much.
You know, I'm pretty hopeful that next Nobel Prize might come to Shillong. Because it is humanly impossible. It is humanly impossible to know other person 75%. Nobody knows in this world any other person more than 10%. Every good answer will get 2 chocolates. And I will keep on asking questions to you. If you are not going to make it, if you are not going to reply, then I'm going to take chocolates back as well. But if anybody is going to yawn in this class or a session, that person has earned a chocolate, that person will get the chocolate. That doesn't mean you start yawning. I want to tell you, I haven't started yet. I want to tell you a very simple thing. Have you heard about iceberg?
Yes.
It's an iceberg model. Only 10% is visible in any human being. What is visible in a human being? Their knowledge, their skill, their appearance, their qualification, their designation, their education. This is visible. Why I'm wearing a suit and a nice tie today? 10%. Only 10%. We try to impress upon people only for 10%. Most of you are dressed so very well, especially the ladies. 10%. Men folks in India, they need to learn many more things. I'm going to talk about that also. What we don't know in a human being, 90%, which we call it invisible. What is invisible in a human being? Judgments, beliefs, morals, opinions, values. Nobody knows. Do you know my 90%? You don't know, I guarantee you. आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं? I've been married for 32 years. My wife doesn't know about that. I want to tell you, it reminds me of a very good story. A real story. Let me tell that story because my wife is accompanying me to Shillong, so before she comes, I can tell you a few things. You know, all through my life, not because we were poor, but I was having a little vision, and Indian Council of Medical Research, Department of Science and Technology, Institute of National Science, Indian National Science Academy, all these people supported me. And I did my doctorate from PJ Chandigarh, then postdoc abroad, where everything was funded. That's why I've been going to the schools that you should have a big vision. So, when I moved, when I came back from US, I was not having a job. And you think that you are the smartest person, you are coming from US. And somebody suggested that I was not even having a job, that you take a UPSC exam, and I did that. Unfortunately, I got selected. And I became a glorified clerk in the Ministry of Human Resources Development. And then after 3 years, Uma Bharti carved away another ministry, Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs, and she was very happy to take me along, and I went to Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs. There I was having a lot of opportunity to travel abroad, 20 times, 30 times in a year, and I was young. I'm still young. And when you travel abroad, you try to show off, you call your wife and you say, oh wow, I was there, and I really, enjoying, it's a beautiful place, and excellent food. Total pause from the other side. Hello, hello. Then she says, there is no light at home. Your son is not studying. I'm getting complaints from school. You keep on enjoying. I've understood one thing as a student of psychology, that my wife is not happy with my happiness. I changed. I thought it is better that I should talk about 90%. I started lying. I still travel quite a lot. And I said, now when I go, I said, miss you. I always say that, I'm missing home food. And when I come back home, there's a nice delicacies for me. So, 32 years. I don't know why I'm revealing it today, because she might enter the room. How do we know about judgments? Many times we make judgments. We say that, please, I'm just giving an example, that Punjabis are very loud, Delhiites, they pick a fight, Tamilians are like this, Bengalis are like this. These are judgments. This is not true. Not only that, then we say that people who have a billi ki aankhein, bach ke rehna, people who don't have who are baldies, all those kind of things. And forget about that. In North India, people talk about surnames. If you are a Garg or a Agarwal or a Bindal or something, that means you are Kanjus. Look at that. These are all judgments. Now, nobody knows anyone's morals or values, and all these things which I just talked about, all these things has one word which is called attitude. You must have heard there's a saying that intelligence can get you a job, but attitude can make you successful or can make you absolutely failure. I'm sorry, because we were told that only 220 confirmation has come, so accordingly we organized, but you're welcome. I don't know whether you'll get a food or not. So this attitude, I want to ask you a question. When do you think we develop this attitude? Which age do you think we develop this attitude? Very quickly. Yes, sir.
0 to 7 years.
How do you know that?
I have read some.
No, not passing. He is pretty loud. Anybody would like to say? When do we develop our attitude? 18 years. Adolescent. Hurry up. Adolescent. 2 years. Huh? There's no specific age. 10, 5. Don't keep on guessing. As I said, we have conducted 2,200 workshops. Very rare somebody will give a correct answer. I'm going to give you 5 chocolates. No. You're not supposed to eat it. It might come back. You have enough chocolates? All over the world, if you read the research or go through the research, all document says 0 to 5 years. Whatever you are today, whatever I am today, is the reflection of 0 to 5 years. But India is being a very possessive country. We go to 7. But that doesn't mean that on the 7th birthday, people will stop learning. What we are trying is an indicating figure. It could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of thing. In India, as I said, the gentleman, 0 to 7 years. Let me tell you, interesting thing. Who contributes the most in developing the attitude or behavior or a mentality in children? Obviously parents. I'm not going to give you chocolate for that. All research within India and outside, it says 50 to 70% it comes from parents. The second they said peers, sangat jisko bolte hain, another 20 to 30% comes from your friends. And the last is, which is very important, is called primary school teacher PRTs, 20 to 30%. If ever I will become a union minister of education even for one day, you know what I'm going to do? I'll increase the salary of PRTs by 10 times. We don't understand that TGTs and PGTs are important, but they talk about their subject. Now the basic formation is at the primary school level. Why students don't like mathematics? One of the reasons, because their base to understand the mathematics is not there. So it is important that, and another thing you must have noted, that if your children are in primary school and if teacher says tomorrow everybody will get a green vegetable, the children will say, I want to eat and I want to take a green vegetable. That is the age 0 to 7 years where they can learn all those kind of things. And when I'm talking about peers, I also want to tell you that if parents gives a right kind of advice or inculcate a right kind of values in children to say no to bad things, then this particular thing goes together. So it is only the parents, and I want to make a big statement which probably you are not going to accept it. You, the teachers, including myself, we cannot change the behavior, and we cannot, the 80 to 85% which is already there in me, it is going to go till my graveyard. Nobody can change it. I challenge it. Nobody can change it. Yes, 5, 7, 10% you can change, which is a very minor thing. You may change or not change or whatever, but up to 85% you are not going to change. So, what is more important in life is behavior, which we are ignoring. We have a data, we did a all over India survey, and we found that 87% women attends parent-teacher meetings. Meghalaya could be a little different, okay? But I'm giving you all India data. 87% mothers come and attend, 13% fathers, bhala bhutka koi aa jata. Maybe because out of a fear of his wife or whatever. Talking about behavior to the parents, that hey, your son or daughter is behaviorally is having certain issues. You know, the first thing which will come from the mother is denial. Nobody has told me before. Then you very convincingly saying that, and the other teachers are also joining you saying the same thing, then the justification will come. Iska dada mar gaya tha, jaundice ho gaya tha. And the child is listening, nothing happened. My mother is protecting me. This is the true story of Indian schools. And I want to make it a statement. 80 to 85% behavior, mentality, attitude, judgments, beliefs, morals, values, motives comes from parents. And you think that you are honest, you think you help people, please give this credit to your parents, don't take it. And in case you think you indulge in cheating, fraud, bullying, lying, and the father suddenly realizes, I'm a head of the family. And there is something wrong going on. And you know what happens after that? The most inconsistent behavior. आज के बाद साइकिल नहीं चलाएगा, वीडियो गेम नहीं खेलेगा, टीवी नहीं देखेगा, घर के बाहर नहीं जाएगा, पड़ोसी के बच्चे को देखो, उसके पास एयर कंडीशन नहीं है, भूखा मरता है, उसके नंबर ज्यादा आते हैं. Let me tell you, Indian parents are like gods, because all of us, we sacrifice. You want to say something? बोल दो. Huh? Okay, very true. Where was I? Indian parents, I tell you, believe me or not, they sacrifice the most for their children. I mean, not 100%. But Indian parents are also most inconsistent parents. When you say you can't do these things, after 2 days, oh my son, oh my daughter, it's the same thing. I cannot ask more women are sitting around, 15% men folks are sitting here. How many of you got a training to how to raise children? I know you need not to give me any answer. I tell you, the most difficult thing in this world is to raising children, and the parents' expectations are on schools that you will do it. Many times parents comes that आप इसको मारो, आप इसको ये कर दो, हम नहीं करेंगे, और यदि आपने कर दिया, they will send a complaint against you. I want to tell you the purpose of this small session is behavior measurable? Answer is yes. 400 years back, when somebody said that I can measure temperature, all of you said it is not possible. 170 years back, somebody said I can measure a blood pressure, all of you said it is not possible. 30 years back, somebody said you give me a drop of a blood on a glucometer in 5 seconds, I can tell you your blood sugar level. Most of you said it's not possible. Blood sugar. Today, when I'm telling you that we can measure human behavior on machines, you are thinking that it is not possible. Today, human behavior is completely possible to measure on machines. And these machines are not rocket science. All of you can learn. I don't sell those machines, so don't think that why I'm talking about it. But yes, we have a small machine. Just to give you a small example, it's called electrodermal. It's freely available all over the world, in fact. I don't know, in Meghalaya, when people get married, they have a Janam Kundali or horoscope. Okay, so generally what happens is that in south, west, as well as in the north, there is a Janam Kundali horoscope. When you were born, they make that what kind of thing, and then they compare the boys and the girls, and then they said, yes, they can be together. We have a machine which can tell us that whether you will be happy with your partner or not. For how long? In 7 seconds we can tell. In 7 seconds, machine. Whether you'll be happy with your employee or not. Because if you have a similar kind of electrical conductance in kilo ohms, then you will do very well. That kind of machines are available. Anybody can operate it. You can open your own center, put a matrimony compatibility center. You make $1 million on it. When I'm talking about a behavior, have you heard about Freud? I'm not going to talk about any theory. Have you heard about Freud? Who this person was? Yeah, Sigmund Freud. What did he talk about? आइसबर्ग उसने नहीं बोला था. बैठिए ना, बैठिए, सुंदर साड़ी है. आधी दे दो. It says, I don't care about social norms. I will do whatever I want to do through the machines. Generally, ego, we use it as a negative word, although it is not negative. A principals in the school has to be high on ego. They need to manipulate. They keep saying many things to get the work done. They will say, hey, you are my best teacher, and kindly do this kind of work. And she hates you, basically. So when you are, that means 67% time, I will continue thinking. My behavior will be talking about how can I satisfy my animal desire. I want to satisfy. I am taking drugs. I have an extramarital relationship. I have all those kind of things, which society does not approve, but I still do it. 67%. What is your name? Raju Day. Raju Day. He has it only of 7%. Everybody, let me tell you, don't think that someone may not have even a 1%. Everybody has. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single digit is absolutely fine. No problem. He has an ego of, let's say, 72%. 79, 21% is super ego. Now this person can be a CEO of the company. We can talk about it. If somebody, so what I'm talking about is that whatever your mindset, which has been developed between 0 to 7 years, that thing you need to do that. I'm not saying that it's only 0 to 7. I would like to tell you about the role of genetics in it as well. In genetics, interesting thing is, 22 chromosomes plus X chromosome is equal to female. No rocket science. We have studied it and we are continuing studying this. 22 chromosome plus X chromosome plus Y chromosome is male. All of us, we are fully aware of it. You may not be aware of one. 22 chromosomes plus X plus Y You get one Y extra is an anti-social person. With one extra Y, these are 2 people out of 1,000 population you get that, which is very high number. Most of the prisoners have an extra Y. That's why they are aggressive and they are in jail. You know, good thing I want to tell you, all the women. Men folks are not going to like me, I'm sure. When this Y comes, that means the male. That means the extra Y which is coming from father. So criminality always comes from father, not from mother. आदमी भी खुश हो रहे हैं कि पकड़े गए. Criminality always travels from fathers. So you have this word, if your son or a daughter is not doing well, please go home and blame. But do it, I'm leaving tomorrow at 7 a.m., do it after that. I also want to tell you an interesting thing related to genetics, because I've done a lot of work in America on this. 22 chromosomes have a definite shape or a form. I'm sorry, my handwriting is terrible, but it looks like this. These are in pairs. If there is an addition means that there is something extra over here. If there is a deletion, this finishes here, it is not existing. If there is a translocation, this portion has cut and joined over here. Chromosome 1, 9, 16, 22, X and Y. These chromosomes relate to behavior or attitude. If you give me a drop of blood and I will have a slide and I see that under slides in a high microscope, I can tell you what the behavior could be of that person easily, whether this person is going to be aggressive, docile or whatever. Today we can do that. Not today. In fact, I did it in 1991. The only thing which we are not successful is on genetic engineering so far. People are talking about, but still we are not successful. But assessment through genetics is possible. But there is a fight between nature and nurture all the time. Few people say it's genetic, few people say it is through social learning. So that's why we do both. We do 0 to 7 years, and we also do this chromosomes as well. Coming back, that personality has 3 components: conscious behavior, subconscious, which is very important for schools, and unconscious. What is conscious behavior? Conscious behavior is which is deliberate and intentional. That is conscious behavior. When you go to your principal and you say, "Madam, you are looking very nice today. Whatever I am today is because of you. Madam, you are an icon. Madam, you are a great leader. Other day in assembly, you spoke so very well. I want to learn, madam. You are so wonderful, madam. Even in my dreams, madam, you come." And then madam turned her face and said, that's a conscious behavior. And I also want to tell you, now you're not going to agree this, because why? You are from Meghalaya, in hill station people, they're very nice. They don't have id in them, because I'm from Himachal Pradesh, okay? Never ever trust anyone. Never ever. Justify, verify. And many of us, we make fool of our subordinates and try to take work. So, this conscious behavior, whenever somebody is praising me, when somebody is talking good about me, try to see what is the hidden agenda behind that. You will get the answer. In 32 years, my wife has never praised me without any reason. And I can tell you another story, she hasn't come yet. I was working in the government sector, as I told you, through UPSC. 13 years I worked in the ministry. And then I did not like working with the government. Then I thought, let me quit and join corporations where you get a very handsome salary. I joined that, but there is no timing. In the government, I used to come back at 6 o'clock sharp. And there are no timings. Now, basically, I have a genes or chromosomes or a blood. My father was a serviceman. I'm also started service. And whenever I used to come at 9 o'clock at home, I used to buy one bud for her so that it will settle with that only. When I'm coming around 10:30, I'll buy a big bouquet. I never wanted to buy. I never want to spend. Government officer never spends money unless he's honest. Buying at that point of a time, 100 rupees, a bouquet is very difficult. But to buy peace, you do that. It's an investment. Then If I'm coming at 11 o'clock, then I'm getting a huge one, which is for 250 rupees. What I'm trying to tell you is, every relationship is a negotiation. Even a mother does a business with their daughters. Do you agree with it? तुम तो बड़ी जल्दी मान जाते हो. I thought that you will argue with me. Every relationship, sir. But don't think when I say business, business means money. Business means transaction. Like you tell your son or a daughter that if you will get 92%, we'll give you a laptop. First you finish milk at home and then we will let you go play. That is a transaction behavior. So conscious behavior allows us to do business and transactions. Subconscious will come later. Unconscious is the purest need, which only you know it. Which only you know it. Right now I'm looking at you. You are giving me a smile and nodding your head. And I am thinking that you are enjoying. But at the back of your mind, ये कब खत्म होगा? कहाँ फंस गए? And again I'm looking at you, you are doing it like this. And I will never ever come to know that what is going on in your mind. That's what I said. You only know 10%. Nobody knows more than 10%. Subconscious is the most important thing. If you ask me 2 plus 2, I say 4. From where did this 4 came? It was stored in a subconscious mind. So I want to tell you, in 0 to 7 years of age, highly traumatic experiences in my life and highly pleasurable experiences in my life, it goes and stays in my subconscious mind forever. Few of you are afraid of a rat. Assume that you get a rat in your house. You said, I'm not going to sleep unless the rat is out. Lizard. Forget about that. Assume that a big snake comes out from here and moving it. Most of us, our reaction is, whoo! We will leave the room. क्या नाम बोला? Raju. And Raju says, wow, what a nice color. I've never seen green stripes. This is excellent. Let me take a picture. Why he was different? Because he never had that traumatic experience. All of us assume that these 5 people are sitting here. I just become little nasty, rude with you. She starts crying. She gets up and walks off. She felt very indifferent. He gets up and gives me a nice slap. आप लोग बड़े खुश हो रहे हैं इसमें? My question is, when stimulus was same, why the reaction was different? Why the reaction was different? Because of subconscious mind, what has been stored, what the education and the values and the morals have been provided to you by your parents. That's subconscious. And when they come to school, you teach them. Today also, I can solve algebra. I can do some mental math because it is in the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind always talks about whenever a situation will come, you get a solution from subconscious mind. That is why it is important that children should have a most pleasurable experiences than anything else. Today we can measure, ladies and gentlemen. Today, if my name is Sanjeev Sahni, my conscious is 82%. Whatever I am today is because of my conscious behavior. You know what conscious behavior means? Chapulusi, buttering. That is what conscious behavior is. That's not bad. Don't think I'm talking about conscious behavior is bad. Many people in this world, they are very well known in this world because of conscious behavior only. I have that. Internal means whatever I am today is because of myself. I have a potential. I have a capability. I can do it. It's within my control. I meant for this. Today, whatever, wherever I am is because I could manage to do it. External is chance, luck, God, sifarish, money. I can buy anyone. External locus of control. I don't care about anyone. I can buy people with any money. Indian people, Indian society is pushing their children towards external locus of control. You know, when the children have a class 10th and a 12th exam, you give them a yogurt, you give them a sugar, and then you say good luck. कि ये काम आएगा. On that day, they remember even grandparents also. बेटा जाके पाँव हाथ लगाओ. With due respect to all religions, on prior day, you might go to the temple and you may, bribe the God that if I will get 90, I will go here. If I'll get 95, I'll go to the bigger temple. And if I go to 98, or if I come first, I'll go to that place. External. If somebody, your friend or someone has blessed with a baby boy or a baby girl, and you give them a call and you say, hey, congratulations, you're blessed with a baby girl. ये सब भगवान ने दिया है. मैंने क्या किया भाई, तुमने नहीं किया तो हुआ कैसे? Locus of control, external. Today, we can measure this as well. What percentage of internal you have, what percentage external you have. We are able to measure it. This is the beauty. Not I. All of you can do it. I want to announce you one thing. Come to our campus. We'll pick you up from the airport or train station. We'll take you to the campus. We have a 5-star, rather 7-star guest houses. We'll provide you 25 delicacies and lunch, dinner and breakfast. Absolutely free of cost. And 5 days, we'll train you mock training. Mock training is that we will have certain level of students who will behave aggressive or learning disability or ADHD and so on, how to deal with them. And if you will do well, we can take you a visit to Taj Mahal also. Earlier we were paying money also to come to campus, but then people were coming for picnic only. We thought that they should also spend little money. The only criteria is you need to, minimum 20, maximum 30 teachers must come, not from one school, you can come from any school. But Guwahati, 2 schools, Delhi Public School and Royal Global School. These people, the 4 batches have come so far. And whenever you think, you can go to the website, apply, and we will, not even a single penny, absolutely free. And you will learn all these kind of equipments that I will tell you right now. But in 75 years, India could not develop even a single standardized test to measure the learning disability. This is India. If I'm not taking care of my children, there are 20 types of learning disability, and which learning disability student is suffering from. ADHD, we don't have a standardized test. Never ever go to a psychiatrist because they will tell you, they will just give you a medication, anti-anxiety or antidepressive. Other than this, they don't know anything. Never ever do that. So what I'm trying to tell you, there's a lot to do in school education. We'll talk more about it. But before, I want to tell you a few things. You must go and tell your students that how bright their future is. I'm diverting a little bit. 30th September 2023, India's GDP is $3.74 trillion. This is the fastest economy in the world from the last 13 years. And the beauty is, okay, first let me tell you, out of 374, 52% goes to service industry, 26% goes to agriculture, and 24% goes to manufacturing. And as of today, World Bank report. Now you see, 30th September 2030, only 7 years later, this 3.74 will become $7 trillion. And the service industry will increase to 56%. We are going to add $2 trillion. 2 trillion now. You know that million, billion, trillion. I don't know how many crores multiplied by crores and crores we are talking about. You know what? Your students are going to generate that kind of money, $2 trillion. All of them. India is going to be the most productive country, manpower-wise, because 75% of the total population is less than 35. And interesting thing is, in Japan is minus 0.6. Australia is 1. They're not growing. Europe, 1.1. India, 1.6. So till 2070, next 47 years, India is going to be the most productive, and the service industry is doing a lot. And if you will prepare your students for service industry, they will all be a part of $2 trillion. Can you imagine? Give them this vision that how well they can do it. I told students from Auxilium as well as other places, I said, Shillong or Meghalaya is very good in handicrafts. Why don't you write to all the 167 embassies abroad, Indian embassies, that we would like to tell us the traders. If they don't do anything, then maybe you can write to the traders over there. You all can make billions and billions of money. I can talk more if you have few questions on this, but let me go back to my psychology. We are all neurotic. Tension, thank you very much. I'm enjoying it because this is important, sorry. Anger, thank you very much. Yes? On this row? Oh, you know what? 21, listen carefully, 21% of the total population in India is suffering with depression. And I also want to tell you, depression kills more people than the heart attack and cancer together. And we don't have any standardized test to measure depression. We say it's a mood disorder. Sometimes we say it's a sad. So I'm going to give you 3 chocolates. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes? Hello, I didn't come to you. Inferiority complex. Anyone this row? Fear. Uska sun ke. Yes? ईगो तो अच्छी चीज भी होती है. चलो. Yes, yes, yes. Hurry up. Thank you very much. Worry. Yes. और चॉकलेट देना. देखो. हाँ जी. OCD आपने बोला था. I'll give you 3 chocolates. Thank you very much. Yes. Stress हो गया. Nervousness. Thank you very much. हाँ? Excitement. Over excitement हो गया तो चलो ठीक है. वो तो अच्छी बात है. करो. Maniac. Very good. Excellent. हाँ जी. Anger हो गया बेटा. Aggressive हो गया. नहीं आप तो चुप ही करिए. चलो. Hysteria. Thank you very much. How do you know? She must have told you. Okay. Emotional instability. Huh? Loneliness. Very good. That leads to depression ultimately. Jealousy. Okay, patience, yes, I can. Yes.
Confused.
अब आप छोटी छोटी चीजों पे आगे पर चलो ठीक है. Okay, yes. वैसे fear worry आ गया मैडम, कोई बात नहीं. You have tried. Who said schizophrenia is psychotic disorder, is not neurotic disorder? Insomnia. Thank you very much. हाँ जी. Mood swings, yes. बांट लो एक. हाँ जी मैडम. Feeling suppressed. आप लोग तो खाते नहीं होंगे. हैं? सिस्टर खाती है. वो बोल रही है सिस्टर खाती है. मेरा सिस्टर को दे दो. ये बोल रहा है वो. हाँ. दीजिए. मेरा चलो. नहीं. Yes, please. No. Hypersensitivity, 1 chocolate. Huh? Failure. वो तो हम सब होते हैं. Anyone else? Major one. No, PTSD is not neurotic. Restlessness. Thank you. सारा auxilium ले गया. Yes. Why future insecurity? Insecurity होती ही future से है. घर में insecurity वही तो है कि क्या होगा घर जाके. Self doubt. Thank you very much. Very good. Guilty. Thank you very much. Opposite thinking. वो हो गया. हाँ? हाँ चलो दे देते. Hallucinations, yes. कितना इकट्ठा कर लिया? कितना इकट्ठा हो गया? हाँ. Yes, possessiveness, yes. You are very good. Irritability, frustration, yes. कोई आदमी चॉकलेट जीतता है ना तो वो सबको ऐसे ऐसे करके देखता है कि देख लो मैंने भी लिया है. He's the second man who got the chocolate. Yes, राजू तुम भी बोलो यार. सब बोल दिया. Anxiety तो सबसे पहले हो गया था. पीछे हो गया. Suicidal thoughts किसने बोले? Very good, excellent. It's a very very important. टेलीफोन में पूछ के आओ क्या बोल रहा है. Okay, we had enough. But it's important. Anxiety, stress, tension, depression, fear, worry, insomnia, phobia, arousal, suicidal tendency, obsessive compulsive behavior, nervousness, irritability, frustration, hostility, violence, aggressive behavior, obsessive compulsive lying. All these are neurotic behavior. And let me tell you, whether the students are having or you are having, if you are not going to take care of this can lead to psychoticism ultimately. इधर आइए ना आप, इधर आइए. मुझे तो पहली बार 2200 में पहली बार किसी ने चॉकलेट दी है. 60 साल का होने वाला हूँ मैं. पहली बार, first time. I need your address. We'll talk later on this. We'll talk during the dinner. Thank you. ये मेरी है. Extroversion, like the people, you know, the extroverts, if they would be confined to one particular place, then they will also become neurotic. Now, the worst thing is social desirability, which is killing us, which I'm telling all of you. Everyone wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be rewarded. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody says, I'm superior. I'm a richer person. I'm more smart. My shoes are better. My tie is better. My coat is better. I am a better person. Social desirability. I feel the society to desire me. So what we do is, when we are not able to achieve big things, then we use certain brands which are artificial things. With due respect to the ladies over here, my apologies beforehand. When you wear a artificial jewelry and you say it is original, when you wear zircona and you say it is solitaire, there is a worst thing, which is like carrying a nice bags, purses. There are Dior or Gucci or Louis Vuitton. These bags are not less than 15 lakhs of rupees. And I always say, outside our New Delhi railway station, it is available for 150 rupees. And it looks same. And I buy that, and I carry it, Michael Kors, and I say, my brother got it from abroad yesterday. So, that is social desirability. I wear a different shirt or a coat or whatever. I'm trying to show my brand. I want society to approve it. And same way, students, when you say that, hello, hello, the first one who has yawned, who has earned the chocolate. Wow. Very good. Hey, कितना खुश हो रही है लेके देखो. The first person who has earned. When students try to get mobile phones to classroom or school, and they show it to their friends, I got it, a gift. I remember my own story when I used to miss my school bus, and my father was having a Lambretta scooter. I don't know, you guys are very young. You must not be aware that this kind of scooter was available. And he said, I will drop you. And I used to tell him, drop me 100 meters before, because I told everyone, I have a Mercedes and a BMW. That is social desirability. Students have this. We need to control this. Now, I've said enough about behavior. Now I'm going to talk about how we can. There are 10 commandments I'm now going to talk about. I've done it with schools. There's something what type of food you should eat, what type of, how do you get a sleep, all those kind of things. If I get a time, I'll speak. But the most important thing is, who is the most successful person in this world? The person who has a better synergy between the mind and body. The person who have the control on their physiological processes. My favorite talk all over the world, which I must have given it to 110 countries, is that, can I be the master of my own body? Can I be the master of my own physiological processes? Can I control my own body organs? Can I control my own heart? Can you control your own heart? No. Anybody else, you give it? Just now you said you don't have a control on your heart. When I said if anybody wants, you'll give it, then you said no. That means you have a control. Who doesn't have a control, other than the lady who has given me 3 chocolates? That is what I want to talk to you. That is what I want to talk to you. The first thing is, we talk about a behavior. Whenever I have a stress, anxiety, tension, depression, all those kind of things we talk about, where it is going to have a maximum effect on body. How would you come to know about that? The first thing is called heart. Heart rate, we all know, 72 beats per minute is normal. Tomorrow morning, if you want to check that how good you are on physical fitness, mental fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness, and social fitness. In fact, World Health Organization has given health definition that your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and your social health. If you have this health parameters intact, you can do very well. There's a one particular characteristic is heart rate. Tomorrow morning, irrespective of you get up at 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever time you get up, tomorrow is Sunday. Don't put your foot down from the cot. At that point of a time, just check your heart rate. Try to do it. Put all the 4 fingers over here and see. देखिए, आवाज आ रहा है? किसका चिकन का नहीं?
आ रहा है कैसा? गुड गुड गुड. किसी का नहीं आ रहा तो मुझे बताओ, मैं निकाल दूंगा. No, if it is you are not able to get it over here, then the second best thing is you can get it over from here. Now listen carefully. What you can do is, if tomorrow morning, no sir, not this way. Put all the 4 fingers over here. If it is less than 65 beats per minute, you are absolutely normal. I can give it to you on a stamp paper. Nothing is going to happen to you for the next 10 years. I can give you on a stamp paper. Your all the 5 parameters are excellent. कल देखना, घर वालों का भी कराना, बच्चों का भी कराना, पड़ोसी का भी कराना. If it is ranges between 66 to 72, that is also normal. But this set of people are neurotic. That means they may have a fear, worry, anxiety, stress, whatever we talked about. But if anybody is having a more than 72, if somebody gets more than 72, you have no alternative except to contact, and you can write to me that you have more than 72, and we will suggest you few exercises, and we guarantee you that with that exercises it will come down. So heart, you must have heard that the old people, what do you used to call it? Nubs. The old people, I don't know, Hakim and Nadi. Bolo jara apni boli. Yeah, but they used to check the heart rate, nubs. And if you go to any doctor, if they spend more time with a stethoscope on you, that doctor is excellent. If doctor is spending only like 5 seconds or 2 seconds, then that doctor is not great. It is very important to understand the heart rate, the rhythm, and the pulse rate. The second thing is, don't worry, because we have deliberately kept a big names, but it has no meaning. It's called electrodermal. Electro means electricity, dermal means skin. Small test, in 7 seconds you can come to know. In 7 seconds. You put 2 electrodes on any part of the skin, whether hands or the feet. Just switch on the machine. It is based on the electrical conductance of the skin. That when my skin is live, it is not dead. What is the electrical flow on this? If it is, you can use this. Anybody can use it. 10th fail people can use it. 300 to 500 kilo ohms is absolutely normal. If it is 700, very good. If it is 900, excellent. If anybody shows 1400 plus, the person is like a saint. It is possible. We can check that. We can check it scientifically in 7 seconds. What is your mental stability level? In fact, most of the schools are using these machines. But if somebody is having 250, doesn't matter. If somebody is having a less than 150, there is no other way you can deal except you need to contact Dr. Sahni. Similarly, there is something more which is called EMG, you must have heard. Psychologists are not using any questionnaire systems anymore. Psychologists are working on MRIs, electroencephalography, electrocardiography, electromyography, which measures muscles. Now you see, I'm driving a car, and suddenly I see a boy or a girl or an animal comes in front of my car. What I do? I'll apply the brakes. I understand I've applied the brakes, but why am I doing it like this? I don't know how many of you have seen that Indian sprinter, when they run like this. So they basically put a lot of pressure on their facial muscles and they're draining out their energy through that. Basically, if you see one of the top sprinters, they run like this. But the role of a psychologist is different for different people and for different problems or challenges. Now, for a weightlifter, I don't know how many of you have seen the weightlifting. And for a weightlifter, we induce the anxiety in them. Have you ever seen what they do? First they will stand and they will go, and then they will do it like this. Yeah! Yeah! Have you ever seen somebody doing it like this? So, most of the time, when I am picking up a fight with someone, I say, you see, I put a lot of muscle tension. I contract my muscles. And that pains. I also want to tell you that the World Health Organization 2010 monogram very clearly indicates that 83% of the total diseases existed in this world.
are psychosomatic in nature. सोचने से होती हैं. 83% of the total diseases. And when I'm talking about myography, when you get a headache, when you get a cervical, when you get a lumbar, 87% of the total pains are through muscular pains. सोचने से होती हैं. Whenever you see, sometimes you don't like your principal. That is very common. Let me put it other way. Your principal doesn't like you. And you know that. And if she's calling you, and you try to contract your muscles, that I'm not going to listen to her. And when you go home, you say, दर्द हो रहा है. You don't realize ये दर्द वहीं से आया, principal से. I'm sorry, principals, because it's just an example. I know you're very nice people. In fact, yesterday when I went to the auxilium school, the vice principal, the way the 600 plus students were treating the vice principal more than the principal, and I told them, the principal is sitting here right now at the moment, and I told principal that your vice principal is very famous. She immediately said, no, I've just come 3 days back. Skin temperature. This is not body temperature, this is skin temperature. This, if it is snowing outside, if you stand there, you will see your skin gets a little cold, but not the body temperature. But yes, if somebody puts you in a deep freezer for 45 minutes, then your body temperature will also go down. But what is the difference between the two? Skin temperature drops immediately when we are under pressure, anxiety, stress, and tension. That is why, when I shake my hand with anyone, I try to understand the personality of other person in 3 seconds. I will do it with one person, not right now, at the end of this thing, only one person. Otherwise, everybody say, Mera bhi, Mera bhi. And it's not that I can do it. Any person who has read this psychophysiological mechanism, they all can do it very well. Just by shaking hand, we can tell about personality. If your skin temperature is between 28 degrees centigrade to 32 degrees centigrade, you're absolutely normal. Nothing is going to happen as if you have less than 65 heart rate. If it is 25 degrees centigrade to 28 degrees centigrade, you're normal but neurotic. If you have less than 25 degrees centigrade, you know the answer. So easy. Anxiety, stress, tension, so easy. And can I control this? That I'm going to tell you what all you can control that. Respiration. Madam आ जाइए आप. हाँ, नहीं मैं कहीं ले जा नहीं रहा हूँ. बात करेंगे जरा आइए. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Very simple. I'm going to ask you only 3 questions. And it's a very simple one. All of you can answer those. In fact, you are going to feel bad that why I have chosen this young lady, okay? For every correct answer, I'll give you 3 chocolates. The agreement is, if all the 3 answers are correct, you will take 9 chocolates. But if last one is wrong, then you will return all the chocolates. You're okay with it? My first question is, are you breathing at the moment? Are you sure you are breathing? Very good. Correct answer. Very good. Thank you to बाद में होगा. Such a good news, she is breathing. The second question is, since when are you breathing? Since my birth, that means when she was a 14-week fetus in her mother's womb and she started breathing. Excellent, madam. Third question. Now the last question is, madam, how many times in a minute you breathe? As per agreement, you don't have the answer. But anybody would like to have this chocolate? How many times in a minute you respirate? Not a physical education teacher. 15. Even as a physical education teacher, को भी नहीं पता होता.
15 to 18.
Respirates 35 times in a minute and dies at the age of 12, 13, 14. A snake respirates 65 times in a minute and dies at the age of 5. Crocodile respirates once in a minute, lives for 250 years. Turtle respirates once in 2 minutes and lives for 450 years. So human mind or humans can 16 to 20 breaths per minute. But whenever you are under anxiety, stress and tension, you may do 27 breaths per minute. Whenever you just can check it. And I also want to tell you, it is also an inhalation and exhalation. Assume that this cycle is for 4 seconds. Whether inhalation should be more or exhalation should be more? Exhalation. You know, inhalation, you basically, when you inhale, you retain only 1/16 of the oxygen in the brain, remaining will go out, the toxics will go out through carbon dioxide. So it is always better to exhale more. So if it is 4 seconds, inhale for 1.6 seconds and exhale for 2.4 seconds. This is the training which we give it 1 week, 5 days, and people learn what is the correct way of respiration. I told you about the last thing, which is very important, which is relatively new, and you all will like it. You must have heard about the brain mapping. How many types of brain waves are there? Brain waves?
4.
4? Who said that?
Me, sir.
Huh? Kaun, sir?
Delta, alpha, theta, and beta.
The first one is called delta. Second one is called theta. The third one is called alpha. The fourth one is called beta. Beta is of 2 types. One is low, another is high. Like you know that BMR, basic metabolic rate. You all know about it. Just in 3 to 4 years, you will hear one very good thing, which is called Brain Fitness Index, BFI. Brain Fitness Index. We are developing that with another 15 countries, and it's going to be, all your future recruitment, selection, promotions, increment, bonuses, everything will be happen because through that only. How do I know you are being dominated by which brainwave right now? The brainwave comes like this. And if you want to measure this, like from here to here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 oscillations. So, delta, if it is 0 to 4 hertz, you are in delta. If it is your 4.1 to 8 hertz, you are in theta. If from 8.1 to 12 hertz, you are in alpha. Low beta is 13 to 21, and high beta is 22 to 30. When you don't get these kind of oscillation, and if there is a straight line instead of this, what do you say? Dead. That means there is no oscillation, that means 0. 0 means dead. In fact, you can't declare a person dead just because the person doesn't have a heartbeat. Basically, you can declare dead a person legally when there is a 0 brain waves. But that is a little difficult, so 99.9% people, you can judge that, but maybe you must have heard that when somebody was taking them to cremation ground and person got up. Very rarely that happens, but that means that a person was not on 0. 0 means dead, 1 and 2 means brain dead. Your brain is not working. You may come back, you may not. 3 and 4 is a coma state, but 4 is also a deep sleep. Now, assume that the gentleman sitting over here, the last night we did a brain study, sleep study, sorry. He showed he was on number 4 hertz for 1 hour and 20 minutes. The gentleman spent only 14 minutes. The gentleman spent 1 hour, 30 minutes, 4 hours, 3.5 hours, 12 minutes. He did not even go to number 4. We can, from this sleep analysis, we can see your stability as well, mental stability. The more you are going to go into the 4, you spend more time, you will be a much better person. 5 and 6 are the most euphoric states, the most pleasurable states. Don't try it even once, but when people take drugs, it's basically to go into the 5 and 6. You enjoy that. When people take alcohol and say, brah, brah, that person is really enjoying. So, 5 and 6 is the most euphoric state. Sometimes you are sleeping, sometimes you get up. And 7 and 8 is the state, which is the state of totally focused or attentive state. That's why we provide a training. When you will come to us, we provide you training how to take your children to 7 and 8 hertz. And whenever you are going to talk to them anything, they will be able to learn those things very well. So that is called 7 and 8. 9, 10, 11 is the state of planning and organization. Just a small example. Raju has come in his car, parked outside. The car is in dead state. The car is in delta state. When Raju goes and put an ignition on, theta state. Then Raju plans whether I have to reverse it, window up, down, petrol, AC on, not, whatever, is alpha. Low beta is when he starts driving on the first gear. and high beta is when he drives at 150 kilometers per hour. Well, so that can never happen in Meghalaya because you travel 1 kilometer in 15 minutes. Let me give you another example. When Raju is sleeping, he may be on the 4. When he gets up, he's definitely in 5. And then he starts thinking what I'm going to do today is an alpha state. What I have to do today, what I have to wear today, how I have to go, whom I have to meet, all those kind of things planning. And when he starts brushing his teeth, starts taking bath and all that, then that is low beta. When he becomes a very hyperactive, then it is high beta. Now, when I said, can I be the master of my own body? I want to give you examples of that. A teacher get a call through the peon that principal is calling you. And they also tell you that principal is in a bad mood. Now every individual has 4 solutions. It's up to you what you want to choose. The first solution is you enter into theta, into her room. The theta says, you know that it is not your mistake. You enter and you say, Madam, I'm sorry. I know it's my mistake. It will not happen again. Please, this time I apologize. Please, madam. It's not your fault, but you thought it will be taken care of if I'm going to say sorry. That you thought, let me go into a theta state. The second stage is, you can also go into the alpha state. You have a complete planning. You go and you tell, madam, I have done a homework. Last 5 years, this is the expenditure. This is what we have done. We did not get any benefit. That's why I've taken a decision. We should not do it. That is the alpha state, full planning. You go and enter, try to convince. You think when I'm going to give and show all those kind of papers and results, she's going to agree. The third state is, you go into the low beta state. As soon as you enter into her room, you say, madam, every time I become a target, I'm the one who's doing maximum work. I'm the one, who stays back for a longer period, but all the time you, make me the target. Madam, this, that. It's a little high active kind of response. And the high beta is, you enter into the madam's room and you said, madam, I will see you outside the gate today. It's your choice. It's your choice what do you want to do. What do you want to do? Whether you want to go to theta or alpha or a low beta or a high beta. I always give another example. Is if you have to propose someone. I'm not that old, okay? If you have to propose someone. Again, there are 4 states. The first state is theta. I cannot live without you. I cannot breathe without you. You are my life. Otherwise, I'll finish my life. I cannot do this, that. That is theta state. You thought theta will work well? And let me plan that way. The second state could be delta pe to nahi jayega koi, wo to mara hua hota hai. The second state is alpha, planning. What message I should write, how long I should write, when should I invite for a tea or a dinner, what should I wear, all those kind of things are planning. You keep working on it and you think that will work well. Then comes the low beta. Low beta is 31st October is the last date, either you accept me or you leave me. And then comes high beta. Our university is in Haryana. So there people will say, manegi ki nahi manegi, utha ke le jaunga. So it's up to you. What I'm trying to tell you is that are you managing your own brain waves? Are you managing your own physiological processes? Is your heart, your skin, thermal, is your muscles, is your temperature, is your respiration and brain waves are under your control or not? You can do it yourself. Today, all of us, we provide a training on this, that how I can manage these things so that I should not become a victim of anxiety and stress. I have one small announcement. We also run a PhD program. And in this PhD program, we provide 35,000 rupees per month as a stipend. Only qualification required, and there is no age bar. We had Pat Bungru, who must be like 65 years. And he, after doing PhD, is working in a Cambridge University. So there is no age bar. The only thing is, the UGC says that you have to have a 55% marks in masters. Master could be in any field. And if you are from Hindi to Sanskrit to English to chemistry to mathematics, on any field, you can do research with us. I also want to tell you the best school educations are in Korea, Japan, Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Then comes Finland and then comes Switzerland. These are the 7 countries. We have a very good relationship and we can do some comparative research as well. It's all funded, completely funded research project. We take people twice in a year from 1st of February and 1st of August. If anyone is interested, don't ask me any question. They go to the website, there's a procedure, apply, and there is no fees as such. Rather, you will get stipend of 35,000 rupees per month. Because we are encouraging this, there are a dearth of research in school education. The more we will involve ourselves in research, the better we will be able to conduct ourselves in the schools and the better students will pass out. That's all from my side. And thank you very much. I really admire your patience. And nobody said that I should hurry up because it's 5 to 6 minutes past 8. And I know when we were organizing it, many people told us, Meghalaya, nobody will come to your show if you are going to ask them to come late evening. But that is just the opposite of it. And we are very happy. And I also want to tell you one thing. We have seen the hospitality of 2-3 schools. Auxilium is the one. I used to think that, I being from Himachal Pradesh, that we are the best in hospitality. But I must tell you, the Meghalayan people have beaten us in a big way. And I'm really happy, such a warm, hospitable people you are, I have not seen. And I don't think that I say everywhere the same thing. Very rarely I say. And if I can be of any assistance, any help, any support, we will give you cards. Do you do cards? We will, but take it only because it cost me 3 rupees 70 paisa. Take it only if you want to communicate. Otherwise, you say we don't want it. And I'll be very happy to assist you whenever you have. Many times, psychological issues. Many people, they are afraid writing their names, talking about their husbands or wives or so on. So what you can do is you say that my friend is having this kind of a problem. We'll say, please advise your friend to do this. We also know it is you, but that's okay. It suits us. We are not interested in your name. And if you can give your email, you will keep on getting. One last thing, which I forgot. JIBS Infotainment. There are 225 videos, which are my videos. I look beautiful, handsome in these. 225 videos, which is exclusive. It's only for 3 to 5 minutes, exclusively for school education. It is on YouTube. And in case you will subscribe, you know, in less than 2 years, 5 crores people have hit this. Subscribe it. Every Thursday, you will get 1 video. That's your choice. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but it's your choice. If you want to go through these videos, do that. Or right now, you can do it if you want. So, thank you very much. Okay, we will distribute the feedback forms. Once you will fill it up, you'll get a very nice certificate. You give this, and they will give you a nice certificate. It looks very nice. And please don't go away. A nice dinner has been organized. I know you may be having few questions which I didn't give you enough time to ask.
So, as behavior cannot be changed after 7 years of age, then what are the best methods to train the skill of the students who are adolescent at higher secondary stage?
Very good question. You know, first of all, when you have a parent-teacher meetings, don't do these meetings. First of all, ask that every father will also come. You cannot make it mandatory, but try to say that. Number 2, when these people come, that you organize section-wise, and not to talk about the marks, but what you can do is that you can say that how other parents can be learned from one set of people. That is working very well. Third is that best teaching practices is that you involve students. Gone are those days when teachers were working like teachers. You are only facilitators. What you can do is that you ask students to come prepared and give a talk for 5 to 7 minutes or 10 minutes. But make sure that on rotation every student comes and make sure everybody claps because it's very important otherwise. And there are various methods where we can involve students into. Now, let me tell you what happens in Australia. They take them to the play field. If they're teaching physics, they say kick the football and they talk about gravity. So all these kind of things rather in a classroom, because unfortunately our Indian system talks about rote learning. I want to tell you that even class 12 results, when we get it, you know how they send the marking scheme to examiners. And in a marking scheme, it is written that if you have these 8 words, you'll get 8, 10 marks. If you have 6 words, you'll get 4, 5 marks. I don't know how many of you have done that, but this is exactly it. So what we are saying, we are destroying the critical thinking, we're destroying the strategic thinking, We are destroying the out-of-box thinking. In a computer science paper, in a Python, if somebody has given something extra way which is not being covered in the marking scheme, you will not get marks. So the rote learning, that is a major problem that we need to stop. And that is also causing behavioral issues as well.
I request Mr. Swapnil Tambe to please come forward. Would like to felicitate Mr. Swapnil Tambe, who is the Director of Education and Joint Secretary Education for the state of India.
Oh, such a pleasure meeting you. You're pretty young. Huh? Very good. So these are the 12 colors we have of our university, and this has a nice fleece which will help you to protect you in the winters. Thank you very much. Thank you. We fought for every citizen can hoist the flag. Yes. So, but it writes very well, sir, as well. This is the bag, so you can keep this in the bag. Thank you.
I'd also like to invite Ms. Lingua to please come forward with the District Education Officer.
You are a very important person. Thank you. Thank you.
Also like to invite Ms. Dila Sona.
Good. Careful. Very good. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.